So today, we're going to deconstruct a survival protocol. And this isn't just some theory. It's a battle-tested playbook for building an AI company that can actually survive in a market where, let's be honest, most new companies are dead on arrival. We get to reverse engineer the logic that built one of the fastest-growing AI companies on the planet. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's run a quick simulation. Imagine it's 2026. You're starting from scratch. No code, no team, no reputation. LLMs have basically commoditized all the easy stuff. You have 30 days, 1 month, to build a company that won't get wiped out. What's your first move?
Now, the protocol we're about to break down isn't just a thought experiment. It's the engine behind a company that skyrocketed to a $215 million valuation.
And get this, pulled in 50 million users in just over 2 years. That kind of scale tells you this system flat out works. So let's dissect why.
Here's the first hard truth. The standard startup playbook is a death sentence. Most people will build a simple wrapper on top of an existing AI model, put a nice UI on it, and call it a day. That is a trap. The big guys, your Googles, your Microsofts, they will copy your entire product in a single update. And just like that, you're toast.
So to survive, you have to flip the whole model on its head. Let's start with section 1, the concierge protocol. And this is where it gets really counterintuitive. The first step is to do everything by hand before a single line of code is written.
See, the trap is starting with the technology. That's what everyone does, but the protocol says you must start with the pain. The single most dangerous mistake you can make is building a product before you've sold the outcome. You have to prove the result is valuable first.
And what's so wild to me here is just how literal this is. In the beginning, OpusClip didn't even have a product. Their AI was just the founder sitting there manually editing video clips and then emailing the final files directly to people. They weren't selling a tool, they were delivering a finished result.
So the workflow is actually super clear. Step 1, manually create the perfect outcome for someone. Step 2, just send it to them. Step 3, see what happens. Do they ask for more? And crucially, do they offer to pay? It's incredible. OpusClip only started building a real product when their manual process literally broke because too many people wanted it. The lesson here is clear: automate only after you've proven the pain is real. All right, so that leads directly into section 2. Once you've got that early interest, you need to apply what's called the painful job filter. This is basically a diagnostic test to see if you have a real business on your hands or just a cool demo.
And this right here is the core idea. A cool demo gets you buzz, it gets you oohs and ahs, but a real business solves a problem that is so acute, so painful that people are already throwing time and money at it even for bad solutions.
And you can see the difference so clearly on this slide. A cool demo gets you feedback like, wow, this is amazing, but nobody ever asks how much it costs. A painful job, that gets a totally different reaction. People immediately ask, what are your pricing tiers? Or can I put my credit card in right now? The goal isn't just to build something neat, it's to replace a tedious, expensive workflow that already exists.
Now this takes a real shift in how you think. The protocol isn't about being passionate for a specific topic, like, say, video editing. The passion you need is way more fundamental. It's the passion for being a builder, for being a problem solver. You have to be emotional about the act of creating, but absolutely cold and rational about which problem you decide to tackle. And that rational mindset extends directly to how you make money. So let's dive into section 3, the economic engine. Because pricing an AI tool isn't just guesswork, it's a real science. The protocol breaks pricing down into 3 pillars. First, value creation. You have to benchmark your price against the human alternative, right? If a human editor costs $50 an hour for a job your tool does in a minute, well, that's your anchor. Second, unit economic. You have to know your costs inside and out, not just the obvious stuff, but things like AI inference and long-term storage which can sneak up on you. And third, market experiments. This means actually talking to users, running surveys, and finding the perfect price for your ideal customer, even if that means saying no to a bunch of early adopters.
Okay, so let's move to the final section, which really pulls all of this together into a grand strategy. This is section 4, the boring niche moat. This is how you actually build a defense against the giants.
The whole paradigm is shifting, moving away from software as a service to service as software. What does that mean? It means the biggest opportunities in 2026 won't be in creating shiny new software categories. They'll be in finding existing, manual, and often boring service industries and systematically turning them into software.
To do this, you have to be absolutely ruthless about segmentation. Restaurants is not a niche.
Heck, Chinese restaurants isn't a niche either. You have to drill down until you can't possibly go any deeper. For instance, targeting Zara-priced Cantonese dim sum restaurants. That level of crazy specificity is where you find your defensible beachhead.
So it all boils down to this survival checklist. Number 1, find that hyper-specific niche. 2, pick something boring because the exciting markets are already flooded. 3, make sure there are actual existing services you can replace. And finally, number 4, own the entire workflow from end to end. AI should just be one piece of your machine, not the whole thing.
This analogy just perfectly captures the new competitive landscape. 100 years ago, having a car was a big deal. Today, almost anyone can drive. AI is the same thing. It gives everyone a car. It democratizes incredible power. But that doesn't mean there are no winners. It just means that to win now, you have to be a Formula One driver, an elite strategist who masters the tool better than anyone else.
And that really brings us to the final critical question. If this protocol is right, then the biggest opportunities aren't in the flashy, obvious AI applications. They're hidden in plain sight, in the tedious, boring, manual services that power our entire economy. The protocol is clear. The playbook is right here. So the only real question is, what are you going to build?